Episode 6 of When the Phone Rings takes the drama to new heights. Balanced by deep moments of love and connection, the episode finally gives us the glimpse of the husband-wife dynamic between our protagonists, though the twist is that no one else knows they are married. Meanwhile, Hee-cho faces greater peril, signaling that the kidnapper is no longer playing games. Additionally, our earlier suspicion is confirmed. Sang-yeon is aware that Hee-cho is the caller number 406. Last episode's as scene of Sang-yeon's mom spitting wine at her father-in-law's portrait now seems to connect to some larger mystery. At first I overlooked it, but now the dots seems to be aligning. Let's dive into episode 6 and unpack its key moment. Spoiler alert. I will be discussing significant plot twists and character development, so make sure you are caught up. What happened 20 years ago? The episode starts lightheartedly with the characters playing games and enjoying a work retreat, but soon shocking revelations take center stage. Sang-yeon read a message confirming that the voice on the call is 99.99% match with Hee-cho. Though Sang-yeon knows it's her, he struggles to believe she would ally with the criminal. Instead of confronting her, he decides to use these calls to understand her better. The episode begins with the two waking up in the living room, where Hee-cho had slept on Sang-yeon's arms all night. He wonders how she didn't wake up despite the discomfort. Later, Sang-yeon discussed the calls with his assistant, who deduced that 406 and the kidnapper are linked but not working together. Sang-yeon refrains from revealing that his wife is behind that anonymous threats. Meanwhile, Sang-yeon's mother is seen drinking during the day, haunted by an event from 20 years ago. The animosity Sang-yeon's parents hold towards him takes a new implication when we suspect Sang-yeon may not be their biological child. A flashback reveals a wealthy boy from Sang-woo's past with violent tendencies. The episode also uncovers that Sang-woo knew 3 children who went missing from an orphanage 2 decades ago. When Sang-woo and Yuri visit the orphanage, they learn of a 4th missing child, a twin. This revelation ties to the killer's claim of knowing Sang-yeon better than anyone. Could the kidnapper be Sang-yeon's twin, seeking vengeance for being abandoned while his sibling was adopted by a wealthy family? And what is happening with Inna, Hee-cho's sister? Hee-cho's half-sister Inna confronts her, claiming there's no need to pretend anymore. Inna has always known that Hee-cho could speak, but chose to stay silent for her sake. Now, with Hee-cho's recovery after surgery, Inna encourages her to move forward. Hee-cho, however, resents this treatment and communicates her feeling using sign language, a language Inna cannot understand. During a call with 406, Sang-yeon asks what Hee-cho truly wants through a game of 20 questions, because he knew the caller who's calling from 406 is Hee-cho. He attempts to understand her desires. Meanwhile, Hee-cho discovers that Sang-yeon found comfort watching a girl practice sign language alone in her room. The call concludes with Hee-cho implying that if Sang-yeon can fulfill her wish for a genuine marriage, the calls will stop. And what happened at the work retreat? The work retreat becomes a stage for heightened tension. Sang-yeon unexpectedly attends and makes a point of posing up to Hee-cho. Sang-yeon struggles to contain his feeling and takes every opportunity to be near his wife, leading others to suspect infidelity since they think he's married to someone else. Teaming up with Hee-cho during game, Sang-yeon shows his affections openly. Their chemistry sparks chatter among colleagues, though Sang-yeon's assistant tries to dismiss it by insisting Sang-yeon is happily married. During a group hike, Hee-cho becomes separated and ends up near a penstove ledge. Suddenly someone screams that a person has fallen. The episode ends with a shocking revelation that Hee-cho was pushed off the mountain. She regains consciousness in an isolated area with no working phone except the kidnappers. Realizing her life is in danger, she calls Sang-yeon, who immediately picks up. He instructs her to use supplies in her bag, including a flare. Hee-cho complies and Sang-yeon rushes to her rescue. In a flashback, a nearly unconscious Sang-yeon admits his feeling for Hee-cho. Their relationship finally takes a step towards normalcy, though the episode hints at more turmoil ahead as the kidnapper prepares to strike again. The episode leaves us wondering, could Inna have pushed Hee-cho? Her motives remains unclear, adding to the show's layered intrigue. So let's now start with episode 7. As the layers of secrets slowly peel away, we are left eagerly anticipating each new episode to see how Sang-yeon and Hee-cho's complex relationship evolves from indifference to undeniable affection. A jealous Sang-yeon wasn't something anyone expected from this series, and it's been a delightful surprise. Episode 6 ended with a heartfelt note with Sang-yeon drunkenly confessing his feeling for Hee-jo, a moment that melted her heart. Meanwhile, the drama's central mystery deepened as someone deliberately pushed Hee-jo off a cliff with emotions running high and more secrets waiting to be revealed. What lies ahead? But before diving into episode 7, don't forget to subscribe to Popverse and turn on notifications to stay updated with our latest content. So, who pushed Hee-jo? The most obvious aspect is Park Do-jo. The hand that pushed Hee-jo wore a black sleeve, and Doj was the only one near her wearing black at that time. While Park Doj has always appeared to be a loyal and caring assistant to Sang-yeon, even chasing down the arsonist in episode 3, there's a darker side to him. Beneath his charming demeanor lies a desperate man capable of crossing boundaries to achieve his goal. Sang-woo and Yuri's investigations at the orphanage reveal that Doj could be one of the twins with his siblings, possibly being one of the missing children. It's plausible that Doj believes Sang-yeon is responsible for his twins' disappearance. Interestingly, Doj was present when Sang-yeon first received a call from the kidnapper. Though he has been instrumental in covering 406's identity, it now seems his motives were manipulative. Park Do-jo might have exposed Hee-jo as 406 to create a rift between her and Sang-yeon. When that failed, he may have resorted to more extreme measures like pushing her off the cliff. The timing of events raises suspicions. How did the kidnapper know Hee-jo's identity was going to be revealed before Park Do-jo showed Sang-yeon the voice analysis? How did the kidnapper know Hee-jo's identity was going to be revealed before Park Do-jo showed Sang-yeon the voice analysis? So who is the real Sang-yeon? Another shocking revelation is that Sang-yeon might not be the real Sang-yeon. His mother's emotional state in episode 6 hints at this. The day she mourned could mark the loss of her biological son. Her actions, including clutching a book title, "Is It Possible to Change Innate Temperament?" suggest her son may have had psychopathic tendencies. Flashbacks show the real Sang-yeon exhibiting violent behavior like killing animals. This escalated to be possible murder of the orphanage kid. In one memory, Sang-yeon's father is seen drowning a boy, likely the real Sang-yeon, to stop his murderous spree. The nightmare Sang-yeon experiences about the drowning suggest he witnessed this event as a child. However, the real Sang-yeon survived and now harbors a vendetta against the adopted Sang-yeon, who has thriving using his identity. The kidnapper's affinity for fish serves as a subtle clue linking him to the drowning incident. In this episode, Sang-yeon's growing affection for Hee-jo is also the part of the story. Despite the chaos, Sang-yeon's feeling for Hee-jo grows deeper. Her actions in episode 7 reveal a caring and protective side. He admits that he married Hee-jo to save her from disaster-arranged marriage, shielding her from her family's toxic influence. Hee-jo's half-sister In-na, once a source of mystery, now seeks to make amends for her past behavior. Meanwhile, Sang-yeon playfully jealousy and determination to impress Hee-jo add a lighter touch to the episode. Their co-workers can't help but notice the undeniable chemistry between the two, though it sparks rumors. Even after learning that Hee-jo is 406, Sang-yeon chooses to understand her motives rather than let feelings of betrayal consume him. He assumes she is being blackmailed by the real culprit and continues to support her. The episode's preview teases more intense moments as Sang-yeon finds Hee-jo and takes her to the hospital. News of the attack on Sang-yeon's wife reaches Yuri, sparking a search for the masked man believed to have pushed her. The kidnapper, increasingly desperate, demands the return of his phone, prompting Hee-jo to flee for her safety. The mystery as the kidnapper message reveals that the day of the retreat was labeled D-Day. This suggests someone close to Sang-yeon tipped off the kidnapper about their plan. Maybe this is Park Do-jo's involvement seems increasingly likely, as he could have framed the kidnapper for Hee-jo's fall. A new chapter for Sang-yeon and Hee-jo. The near-death experience marks a turning point for Sang-yeon and Hee-jo's relationship. At the hospital, Sang-yeon stays by her side, showing a softer and more loving side. A tender moment ensues when he leans in, remarking on the comforting rhythm of her heartbeat. Meanwhile, Sang-woo and Yuri delve deeper into the orphanage mystery, uncovering more clues about the missing children. As the kidnapper patient wears thin, his threats escalates, making the stakes even higher for everyone involved. Now we're going to talk about episode 8. The episode begins with a deeply emotional momentum between Hee-jo and Saeon. Hee-cho confronts Saeon, asking how long he has known that she is 406. Saeon's calm response throws her off the guard, as he admits he knew everything but never hated her. Instead, he confesses his inability to hate her, revealing a love that he can no longer suppress. Hee-cho, visibly shaken, demands to know how he can still care for her after all that has happened. This exchange sets the tone for an episode sparked with emotion and revelation. Saeon's vulnerability is on full display as he tells Hee-cho that she is the only person who brings him peace in his chaotic world. This is a major turning point as the years of tension and distance between them begin to melt away. The scene shifts to a quiet domestic moment. Saeon prepares a meal for Hee-cho, who is surprised by his culinary skills. When she asks why he is such a good cook, he explains that cooking is about sincerity, joking that as long as the kimchi is good, everyone else will work out. This light-hearted banter contrasts with the heaviness of the earlier scene, showing a glimpse of the warmth they could share in a genuine relationship. Saeon suggests that they should start eating together more often to make their home feel less like a prison. This comment strikes a nerve with Hee-cho as it reflects her earlier feelings of isolation. She recalls the coldness of their past 3 years, separate rooms, no conversation, no shared meals. Saeon, however, reveals that to him the house always felt warm. The simple act of seeing the lights in the window when he returned home gave him comfort knowing she was there. These small moments brought him peace and made the world feel quieter. Hee-cho, though touched by this confession, reminds him of the harsh words he once said, that she should not have any feelings for him. Hee-cho, though touched by his confession, reminds him of the harsh words he once said, that she should not have any feelings for him. Saeon admits that he pushed her away out of fear of his own vulnerability and the emotions she awakened in him. While the emotional development between Saeon and Hee-cho takes center stage in this episode also does not forget the lurking danger. The mystery of the person who pushed Hee-cho off the cliff in the previous episode remains unresolved. The kidnapper's shadow looms over the narrative, reminding viewers that the stakes are high and the danger is far from over. Saeon's protective instincts are heightened and he vows to keep Hee-cho safe. Meanwhile, subtle clues are dropped about the kidnapper's motives and their potential connection to Saeon's past. These hints deepen the intrigue, leaving viewers with more questions than answers. The episode concludes with a preview of what's to come. The relationship between Saeon and Hee-cho is evolving, but their newfound closeness is fraught with uncertainty. The kidnapper's identity and motives remain a central mystery, and the tension is building as the story is going towards its climax. This episode is a masterful blend of emotional depth and suspense, showing both the fragility and strength of Saeon and Hee-cho's relationship. Their moments of connection are amazing, with the constant threat of the kidnapper making this one of the most compelling episodes of the series so far. How anxious are you for the next episode? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section.